Hey, this is Tyler with TJX Survival. I'm here with John McArthur.
Hey.
This guy right here. We're going to talk to you today about winter sleep systems, winter shelters, stoves, that kind of thing.
We got the Snow Trekker tent here, the Expedition Short Wall Crew, 10x13 setup, and then we got a Ultralight 2 from 4 Dog Stove down in Minnesota. So some good American products built
Good
in the
Canadian
States.
products, eh?
Well, they're the Canadian products right here, what you're looking at. This is the interface, so the user interface. So
Okay, so let's get to it.
All right.
What we got going on, man?
So here at Karamat Wilderness Ways today, doing a little instruction. So when I come out here, I like to set myself up to get a good night's sleep, and so I can be up to teach and do a good job. So I got my Snow Trekker set up here on location, and this is the Expedition Short Wall Crew. So it's 10x13, and then in here I've got my 4 Dog Stove. This is the Ultralight 2. The Ultralight 2.
So real quick before we go to stuff, talk to me a little bit about the tent. Like, why is it canvas? Why is it built this way? Why is that valuable?
Okay, so the value of this lightweight canvas tent. So a lot of people are used to like canvas tents being very, very big, bulky. This is not a lot of waste. It's a wedge tent design. It's very easy to set up. Like, I set this up by myself, and usually my time is about a half an hour from the time I come and drop the bag till I'm up and then pegged out. And so that's kind of the big thing, is get it up and pegged out. And then once you're pegged out, you get your stove out. So within an hour by myself, I can be up and have the fire going and start changing the environment right away. So how we do it is right here with this Ultralight 2.
Okay, so with stove, Don makes a great stove. Don is the man. So what is it? Why this design? How's it work? How can I hack it and make it effective?
Okay, so some of the little things here with my stove that I've found over the time I've had it. So right now it's middle of the day, the sun's shining. I don't really need a lot of heat. I keep a little bit of heat going all day. So right now I've probably got this as closed in as I'd probably want to keep it. So I've got it just a slight crack here, you can see. So right now we're gonna go, so this stove is much like a machine. So one of the things that I'll do is, it's a process. Every time I want to open it up, what I'll do is I'll come up here, and I really like this. So you'll see a lot of different stoves. I had a Nyko, and they have like the damper in it. It's inside, it's internal. I like this because it's one piece. You can pull it out. All right, so you don't have to worry about any parts. So right now I know I got a bit of creosote because I got it down. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring this up to temperature. So I just have a slow rolling. So right now it's very important to pull your damper out all the way. So this opens up the pipe so it's able to flow. Now I'm going to open up my my front vent here to allow air in. So now I'm starting to feed the coals that are inside the stove. So now I'm just going to open it up a crack, and what I'm doing is I'm allowing this to start to come up to temperature inside, because I'm controlling the heat or the amount of burn time that I'm doing through constricting the oxygen flow into the, you know, you think about the fire tetrahedral, you need fuel, you need oxygen, right, and you need heat. So we lower the heat down during the day, we retard the amount of oxygen that's allowed into the burn chamber. Now you can hear it is starting to take off. You can see the doors starting to suck and draw. So now I'm not going to fill the tent, the living area, with a bunch of smoke. So now I'm just going to open her up. So you get a little puff. So that means it just needs a little bit more time to establish a better burn. And one of the little hacks I have, well, two little hacks right off the hop, is I have little echo fan here, and what that does for me is allows the actual heat, this little dipole electric fan here, it just takes the heat, makes a little electricity and runs the fan, but it circulates the heat with inside the tent. It makes it much more comfortable. One thing I find, if you're sitting in a tent and it's still air, you're gonna only really take the heat, you're gonna feel it. The temperature's warm, but it's not like this here turns it all the way around. It makes it like consistent heat, like in your house. Another thing that I have here,
it moves all that warmer air around.
It moves it around, and
Another
this thing does.
People that don't really know about these, I mean, you kind of covered it, but it's heat that makes that spin. A lot of people don't grasp the fact that the heat is what creates electricity, which pushes that fan around.
Yeah, so you have two dissimilar metals, right, and it produces a small current when the heat, you know, they get closer to one another. And then it heats up, and then it starts to build that electrical, so then it's just burnt off. The other thing is here is I have a little burn indicator, which is super handy, because it will allow you to know kind of what you're working with, and you know, their burn zones and whatnot. And obviously we had it turned right down, so one of the problems is when you have a stove turned down like that,
I can really feel the heat coming off that right
yes now. So we're coming up now, right? So
yeah.
We never introduced any more to this. We're just allowing the stove, the flame, to take on more oxygen. So kind of one of the little things that I'll have here is you know, a couple little hacks for me is I've got the temperature gauge here, but one of the other things too is I keep one of these blowers. So you wake up in the morning, you'll have just a bed of coals, right? Well, now you want to kind of get some more oxygen introduced, and you really want to start. So you can see we're already up in the ideal burn zone. We're going to bring this right over and bury the needle. So sometimes you see I'm getting these little whiffs of smoke. All you need to do really sometimes is just poke it in. Get it in.
So I can hear that. Just feel that heat just blasting.
So, you know, we've been here
Cooking right
not very long. So
close.
one of the things is, after I've had the stove turned in like it is, I'll give the pipe just a few taps, and I'll make sure that I knock any loose creosote off the inside of the wall of the pipe, the stove pipe here. So, you know, this gets hot, so I'm trying to just do it without burning my fingers. There, it goes back up. There we go.
Yeah, you can see that. That's moving.
So one of the things is I'll get you tonight to come back, and we'll have this, you can see with the lights off how much this thing will actually glow.
Oh yeah, it's probably glowing in the dark right now, but it's so much sunlight it's hard to see. I can see the flame right through that little hole right there too. I'm moving back because it's cooking me. I got all my kit on it. It's super toasty.
So you can see, like, right away you can get, this is what changes the environment for you, is being able to come in, fire up a stove like this. This is lightweight. It's just over I think 14-15 pounds packed down. Everything fits inside. All the pipe, everything, the shelf, all goes inside, and it goes in a nice tight little bag, a little miniature tank, and then boom, you're ready to go.
And that tank, is that a shelf on the back? You have the water tank?
I do have a water tank, and it's sitting right here. So I just have it off to the side for now, but this holds about 2 gallons of water, and it will sit just here like this.
You'd probably boil it.
So yeah, you can bring it up to pretty much a boil. And the thing that's nice with this is bulk water. So depending if you got students, or, you know, one of the things I really like about it is at night you can fill your basin and you can have a really good cleanup.
Good, like sponge.
Yeah, and you have instant hot water. So that's a game changer. You can fill your bottles, drop them in a sock. I put them inside the sleeping bag to warm my feet, and it just you start using the little bits and pieces to really kind of help you along. So another little hack
sounds like a jet engine
is in here. So just a regular old box, right? It's just one I had, but it's the kindling in here, and you can see in here it has like a pinkish stuff on it. And what that is I take a candle in the can and I heat it up. So I melt the candle, and then I add a little bit of kerosene from my lantern into there, and I mix it, and then I just pour it on top of that. So this becomes my super kindling. So middle of the night you wake up, you're half asleep, all right? Another thing is flame. You need flame to really get stuff going. So one of the things that I'll do,
Maxed it out.
yeah, well, we'll get to the point where the metal will lose its magnetism.
Yeah.
So if you know anything about working metal, that at that point is the quench point for blades.
That's titanium, right?
So the only thing, the pipe's titanium, that's titanium. The elbows they're metal.
Okay.
So just regular mild steel. So now I'm getting ready. I'm like, okay, we're gonna go take off for the rest of the day, go do some more teaching. So now I'm just gonna close it in. So I'm gonna bring it here, close that.
Almost immediately cut that sound right down. Yeah.
And you can listen, like, I now close back the oxygen. I drive that back in. I make it touch the back of the wall. And now I know that that will maintain a heat throughout the day, right?
Smoke.
Yep. And then all of a sudden you come back and then you still have a bed of coals, and having that coal establishment is so important. One of the other things I really like about this stove is I have a little oven that goes on the side of it from Dawn that you're able to bake in. And I mean, now, like, I've had out in the bush, the boys having a good time. You know, we've had nachos, made pizzas. So like, you can have like all the really good snacks when you're out and melt, and you know, it's just such a game changer, and it's such a level of comfort. You're living in the lap of luxury when you're out here. Between this tent, the shelter, right, and then being able to have this warmth is incredible.
It's like a sauna.
And all this wood, this wood was all out in the woods. It was all deadfall. So it got chopped up and then split up. So you can see I keep some really good dry, you know, almost kiln dry wood underneath. And that's my middle of the night. That's what I'll throw in first, and then I'll throw a couple of those kindling with the wax and kerosene in there, and you light that, and woof, you got a little thermal nuclear reactor that is just putting out the BTUs, and then you get the temperature up where you want it. It hangs, and then you close it in just like this. You go to bed. I've gone as long as, depending on the size of the wood I've had, the better the diameter, the better the coal bed will be when I wake up. So I've gone 6.5 hours, which is incredible for one of these stoves. Right? You think about the workmanship that Don Cavellis does. That guy's a craftsman. I've been to his factory in Minnesota. I've seen how he puts these together. I watched from beginning to end, and there isn't a detail that hasn't been thought of and refined to make this work so well. You look at every little detail of this is meant to be robust. It's a product you buy once, cry once, but you've got it for the rest of your life, and you have reliable kit. I've been out as cold as -40, and I've been in here enjoying the warmth in the Canadian winter, and then looking out the window and going, wow, it's you know, so cold out there, and you're in the middle of nowhere. This is a game changer for me personally. I know there's other stoves out there. I had a Nyko Alaskan. It was a good stove, but it's nothing compared to this. Some of the internal features, it has that baffling system here too that allows the heat to come up, hit the baffle, go around. Well, what that does is it superheats this little area here, so it's an element. Like, we'll do this later, get maybe a shot of it in the dark.
You can see it burn right there too, or color change.
You can see like the annealing from the temperature change, but right here is where it sits best, and it just heats up. I can put one of the Snyder pans on here. I can cook bacon, pancakes. You can, you know, do a full breakfast just like you were at a Denny's or an IHOP.
With maple.
With maple. Maple infused pancakes are the best. So, but that's my 4-dog stove, and I can't tell you how much it's helped me get more out into the bush. This winter so far, starting on the 27th of December, well, even before that, we went and recce'd a spot for a winter camp. Like, been out now, it's coming up probably, I think I'm going to be around the 25 days here soon. I could probably calculate it, but that's already this year. So it's, you know, as much time as I can spend in this, it just, you know, and one of the things that this does, you talk about for like, people maybe with a spouse that doesn't like the cold or doesn't want to, you know, they think the idea of winter camping is, you know, asinine, that they're going to go out and freeze. Well, this changes it. Like my wife, she comes out and she's able to stay warm, and you know, at the end of the day, if happy wife, happy life. So we're able to spend more time doing this stuff and getting out. So I can't say enough good about the 4-Dog stove. Another little hack here too is I've got one of the flame resistant here, and then in an emergency I also have these asbestos mittens. So I'm able to, you know, if there was something really bad happening, I'm able to grab a hold of it and get it out of here. Or I can handle a piece of wood and get it out the door without, you know, having a big catastrophe. So that's a really good little piece of equipment to have kicking around too, is a good pair of fireproof mitts, or like welding goggles or something, or welding mitts or gloves. So, but that's kind of my story here, and I'm J-Mac at Karamat Wilderness Waste signing out.
Cool. All right, guys, hopefully that was valuable to you. If it was, I'm going to leave links down below, and I'll leave links to all of his social media as well. Go subscribe, go check it out. He's got a really good information. Thanks for watching TJX Survival.
John from Bear Lake Bushcraft Company.
Sweet.